for the stubble, but it's for a role in a film.
Ooh, what's the role?
Well, I haven't figured that out yet, but, certainly there would be a movie that needs a prospector or something like that.
50 Shades. You saw what's going with Marcia Gay.
Yeah.
There's a couple more movies to be shot. You're into that, right, Norm? You like all that stuff?
No, I hate pornography.
You like the Red Room and the...
I don't like any of that. I don't like when love is for sale.
Okay. So he says as he takes a sip of water. Let's talk about that celebrity sketch, or that Celebrity Jeopardy sketch.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Yes.
That, you wrote that.
Yes,
and you came up with the Burt Reynolds thing.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do Burt Reynolds, and then when I wrote it, and then I stole it off SCTV. There was a sketch on SCTV, so I just stole it. But I waited for Martin Short to come so I could ask for permission to steal it. And then...
And he was okay with that?
He said that Eugene Levy wrote it, and he said, we'll get on a conference call with Eugene Levy. And I said, I'll call him, I'm a man. So Eugene Levy gave me permission. But anyways, when I went to do the Burt Reynolds, Lauren, picks out the costumes and everything. He had a white beard and white hair and stuff. And I was like, no, I want to do him from the 70s. And nobody really mentioned it. Nobody really ever noticed it, but it's weird that there's one character in the sketch from 40 years earlier.
Will Ferrell, I watched this over and over. He never cracks. And in this one, with the church for whatever, was he one of the greatest people?
Yeah. I wrote it for Will, basically, because he was such a fantastic actor, and I just thought that it was funny that Alex always has hope. You know what I mean? Alex, it goes bad, horribly bad, and then he still has hope the next time. Then it goes bad again. Question after question, show after show, season after season.
I like the way you talk, Thor.
You like the way I talk?
Yeah, it's like a neat cadence, but you got to be careful what we say to you because it can be shut down quickly, but we're following you over here. You know what I mean?
Well, you like how I talk because I talk like a man. And you don't hear that.
It's true.
You don't hear that much anymore. These days, you can't tell the men from the ladies.
As I said, we'll move on.
You know who's a real man? Have you ever interviewed Josh Brolin?
Yes, we have.
You have?
Yeah.
My God, huh?
Yeah, total stud. A manly man.
He is
You got a thing for Josh Brolin?
Huh?
You got a thing for Josh, then? Please, tread lightly in there.
No, I mean, he's a hot piece of tail.
Yeah, his tail is on fire. Tell us about Chris Farley going from one hot dude.
Yeah.
Farley.
Oh,
I
man,
can't tell you, the love I feel for Farley and his sketches. Was he the guy, even off camera, that just walked into the room and lit it up? Because according to your book, there was stuff you don't even see where he's nude and pretended to be a salad and things are going on. And please
he liked being nude. And he would come in and he'd go, I'm a girl. I'm a little girl. He'd talk, I'm a little girl. But anyways, yeah, he was the funniest guy. And he would always make everybody laugh. He'd just go out on the street and make them laugh. And you know what he could do? He could fall. I remember we all tried this. We all went on the stage and tried this because he would fall into a breakaway table. And he could fall straight without putting his hands out.
Oh, my gosh.
And if you try to do it, you always put your hands out. It's survival, your survival instinct. And he didn't have that survival instinct.
Oh, well, he learned early on that the fall was funny for him.
Yeah.
And it was his signature move.
Yeah.
Did you see him later in life when it seemed like things were getting bad and he was sort of in trouble?
Yeah, I did. The last thing he did was work on a film that I was, a motion picture that I was in. So that's the last thing he ever did. So I thought he would be fine, though, because he was a giant man with huge constitution, And he'd take like a steak and he'd put a big piece of butter on each bite of his steak. So everything about him was just giant. And so I thought, this guy will never die. I was worried about Spade. Because he was a little frail guy, you know what I mean? Farley was a big, giant, So I never worried about him. But he never thought he was funny, which was bizarre, because everybody was always laughing whatever he said.
That was the sadness.
It was sad, because he said, I wish I was funny like Belushi. And I was like, Belushi wasn't funny. He was a good actor, but, when you saw him interviewed, he was kind of a dark guy. Melancholy jolly, guy. Whereas Farley could make dumb people laugh, smart people laugh. People that didn't like him laugh. People that liked him.
A lot of comics that don't. Do you think you're funny? Because in your book, you've got Louis C.K. calling you Mark Twain in this. David Letterman, which we're going to get to, that loves you. Hold that right there. But do you think you're funny? Because a lot of comics have this thing where the validation isn't always there on the inside of their head. We got to talk about Letterman. Answer. I like when he got emotional on his last show. More with Norm Macdonald.
Hold, right?
Yeah. Hold, Norm. Drink, Norm. Drink. Pause.
Emotional. But because I was just emotional by mistake. It wasn't like I planned to be emotional or, I can't act. So I couldn't do that on cue or anything.
I like this side of you, Norm.
You do, huh?
But it speaks to the friendship that you two have.
I like the mannishness of it.
Well, I like both.
Okay.
Kind of like a Josh Brolin right now.
Yeah. I had a square jaw. Well, there I am doing David Letterman. I did an impression of David Letterman, and I felt like odd doing it, because I love him so much.
What does he mean to you? What did he do for you?
Oh, well, I planned to go on Johnny Carson. That was my plan. I was living in Canada, and I'd done stand-up 2 years, and I was pretty well at my peak of stand-up. So I said, I'm going to go on Johnny Carson. He had 8 months to go, and I'm going to be the last comedian that he anoints and calls over to the couch. Anyway, the guy that picked the comics, he didn't want me to do that. So I ended up on Dave, but that was better because Johnny, I just took on faith that he was funny. I didn't know. To me, he was just a corny old man. But Dave was my generation, He was my guy.
But what clicked between the two of you? What was it?
Oh, I don't know. He liked me for some reason. And, so I worshiped him. And then I was like, I don't know why he liked me. I get to say
what do you
like
think of him now, like as Santa Claus Letterman?
Oh,
there he is.
No, I think that's really cool. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm sorry that they show those pictures because he did it to be anonymous, and now they show pictures, so everyone that sees a guy with a big white beard will know it's Letterman.
At Christmas, it's like Letterman. You're hot Santa. Do you talk to him? Do you ever call him on the phone or talk about nothing?
No.
He doesn't seem like the type that would keep in touch. I don't know. I'm just judging, but he's just sort of in his lane up there in Connecticut.
Yeah, he lives. He has his ranch, and he's in New York City a lot. And I talked.
There's a story
maybe
there.
I spoke to him, but
We caught you. Gotcha. That was good.
But no, he's having a good time. He really likes being retired. He said it surprised him a lot. He thought he would not know what to do.
But with the election, he's sitting at home. There's so much material. It writes itself. He has to miss it.
No, he wishes that he would have been able to do Trump.
Talking about the election and Trump, you were just on Fallon the other night.
Yeah.
Trump was there. Did you guys talk a little bit?
Well, what happened was, first of all, I watched it. I thought it was fine. Then the next day they were like, Jimmy wasn't. It's Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. He's not going to ruin his chance to get to host Face the Nation. So no, I was. There's I was second guest, and he was first guest. First time I was ever second guest.
Really? And I didn't even really surprised, continue.
But it was Donald Trump. So there's only a couple minutes between. So Donald Trump came out, and he was with the Secret Service guys. And I said, "Can I get a picture of Mr. Trump?" And so he's like, "Oh, yeah, I know you, I love you. Yeah, we'll get a picture." I knew him from before. He goes, "We'll get a picture. Just give me a minute." And then he turns around, he walks down the hall, and gets in an elevator.
Still waiting.
Yeah, I was like,
you're like best trick ever.
I know, it was like a Buster Keaton movie.
That's a good one. Fallon was on you at SNL. Was he the young guy when you were on there? And did you?
No, he wasn't on with me. We didn't cross paths.
There was no. Okay, I guess he was so young.
Yeah, he was a very, very young kid.
Who did you pay?
He used to send in jokes all the time when I was on Update, and I think he got 1 on or something.
So he was the young, aspiring, always trying to get in there.
trying to get in. And then, but then he got in and blew the roof off.
Anybody you paid it forward to is what I was going to ask, because you had so many people. You talked about Adam Sandler and everybody that sort of helped you. Who did you pay it for?
No, I didn't pay it forward. No, I tried to help people, but then it turned out they sucked. Like, I can't pick good guys. And if the guy's good, he'll make it anyways. But, you know, I have had a few guys, I go, you gotta hire this guy. And then the guy phones me and goes, oh, that guy sucked. Like, he was the worst. I'm like, I didn't know. It seemed funny to me.
Norm's memoir, based on a true story, how loosely based on a true story, or 100% based on a true story?
It's 100% true.
Okay.
The facts is not a lot of the facts out there, but the truth is there.
It's out now.
Norm, this has been interesting. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Karen.
I love that.
Thank you.
All right, there's been a lot of drama on the CBS hit Criminal Minds. Thomas Gibson was fired after kicking a writer. You can't do that, Norm. We're going to update from it.
Kicking it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New cast member Adam Rodriguez is coming out next.